And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us here on the show this evening. As tonight is one of the more highly anticipated shows of the season. Tonight is receipt night, is what we're calling it. Or what I'm calling it. Jackpot sent me some stuff earlier, and in addition to his team beating the holy fuck out of a team that was one of the biggest falsehoods in college football history, their fans weren't very nice to him. So we're going to talk about that tonight, but let's welcome in my podcast partner, Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Cale Hall. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? It's a great night to be here. It's a great night to be a Gamecock fan. I mean, I'm telling you, this is kind of a surreal night. I didn't really think that we would be sitting here talking about these things, but here we are. And we've already got the tards over in the comment section, like James Thompson right there. We'll get to them later. You're going to get yours later on, too. But the only thing that'll make this even better is if we get to do the same thing next Sunday night. But I'm telling you, what a night last night in Columbia. That was it was like a where has this team been moment, you know? And I talked about it in a video today. You know, I didn't think it was going to happen, but I knew there was a possibility that they could score some points on the team because there have been patches throughout the season. We saw it against Pitt. We saw it against Alabama for sure. We saw it against Georgia, definitely, right? We even saw it a little bit against Mizzou. This team will give up some points. So I knew that if South Carolina could somehow miraculously get their shit together on the offensive side of the ball, they could score some points, and that's just what they did. I was just really impressed with the way their defense held up more than anything. I don't think the defense gets enough credit for last night, but they really played a hell of a ball game. You know, on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, it just came out of nowhere. But we've seen flashes of that from the Gamecocks this year as well. We've seen it in games against Arkansas. We saw it against Vanderbilt. And people say, well, it's just Vanderbilt. Well, Vanderbilt's won the past 2 SEC games. So what do you mean it's right. Just Vanderbilt? And, you know, we'll get to the Tennessee fans, the Tard man. But I did want to say in that video that I genuinely, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it right here, that I do feel bad for their fans who are really, really vested in that team. And it was a very special season for them, and I feel bad for them to get your poo-poo pushed in like that against a team that you see as really just irrelevant. I mean, it's tough. We saw Ohio State do it back in 2017. You know, but you know, it's 1L. So I mean, you can recover from it. You're probably not going to make the playoffs now, but I mean, you've at least laid a foundation, you know. So I feel bad for their diehard fans who are just like me. I had one, Alan, I think is his name, messaged me over on Twitter today and tell me, you know, was really heartbroken about it. And I get it, man. I really do. But for some of these idiots, I mean, they absolutely are getting, you know, everything that's coming to them and more.
So a couple of things really quick here. Big Barney Ross with the super chat. And by the way, unlike some idiots, we try to read all of our super chats. Big Barney Ross says, I haven't seen a beating like that since I stood in divorce court. My God.
Yeah. Shout out to Jordan Bowman over in the comments section. He says, Gamecock fans know this team doesn't have it in them to put together another performance like that, but I'll let them have their fun this week. Okay, Jordan. Well, you know, I mean, I honestly really doubted that they had it in them to put that performance on the field last night. So, right. Comment really doesn't make a lot of sense, brother. But go on ahead and have your fun.
Look, Clemson folks, we'll have our time with them on Wednesday. Let's let them enjoy their win now, because it is a big win for Shane Beamer. Because everybody and their brother basically came out and said, hey, they've got no shot to win. and they went out there and they hammered Tennessee. Now let's make sure, and I think I said this last night when I called into Jackpot's live stream. It was nothing that Tennessee did. All right, South Carolina went out there and just kicked them in their face. So don't take anything away from South Carolina. Don't say, which I've seen today, the refs were on their side. If it were a neutral site game, we would have won by 30. No, you wouldn't have. You had your opportunity to beat them, and you didn't. This is a South Carolina team that lost to Mizzou, by the way. Go ahead, Jackpot.
I think there were a few somewhere on Twitter in the comment section somewhere this morning that actually said if Hendon Hooker hadn't went down in the fourth quarter, I mean, you were behind by 28 at the time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, I'm not one of these folks that's going to sit here and harp on the Hooker injury. I hope that young man gets squared away.
Yeah, he tore his ACL from what I understand.
Well, that's sad, and I don't like to hear about that at all. But sad that happened to him. But for that fan base and for some of the disgusting stuff that some of them have said and just acting like they hadn't been anywhere near. And I think the thing that bothers me is that growing up, I remember when Tennessee was really good and the T actually meant something besides, turd burger, because that's what it means now. But to be honest with you, yes, I thought Tennessee was going to win last night, but in reality, I wasn't surprised. We've been telling you that you're a piece of shit for all season long. The two of us, and I think Uncle Lou was on that bandwagon too. It was basically three people. Everybody else was sucking that Vol penis. Didn't work out well for you. Super chat from Beast Bailey says, Jackpot, I got to admit your emotions when Carolina went up 56. You got teary-eyed. I felt emotion through the screen, man. He said he's happy for you. Yeah, hey, there's that. Now,
thank you.
I want to do this really quickly here. Jackpot, I want to thank our sponsors, Callaway's Bar and Grill, for sponsoring the Pick'em Challenge. I will update the standings later on. They'll be up by tomorrow, so don't worry about that. But we're getting close to crowning a champion. Thanks to Callaway's, Callaway'sBarandGrill.com. We also have fireside chats with Uncle Jackpot, courtesy of DNC Trucking and Transport with Dennis Wilson. Jackpot, read away, sir.
It sucks to be a Gamecock. Great win by us last night. Unfortunately, Will Shipley, we need to beg him not to put up 150 yards on our candy asses. We beat Tennessee, but we're a 16-point dog. We are a shithole. It sucks to be a Gamecock. Go Tigers.
All right, that message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, DNC Trucking and Transport. Jackpot, I've got to play a couple of voicemails because we asked for these, and people sent some voicemails. You haven't heard these. I haven't heard them either. I'm going to play a couple of them right now, okay? You cool with that?
Okay.
All right,
absolutely.
So this is the first one. Here we go. Thank you, Biscuit. And I've got one more here. Now, this one says it's 3 minutes long. Look, 3-minute voicemails are fun. We're going to listen to about half of it. Try to get in and out in like 60 seconds, okay? And we appreciate you calling, but it's just way, way too long. I don't even know what this is. Let's see who it is. All right, here we go.
Rob, they're saying they can't hear it.
Oh, they can't hear that. All right, hold on a minute. Yeah. That's not good. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can fix that. Oh, I know why. Give me just a second here. Why is it doing that?
Technology wizard over there. I don't know what we do.
Yeah, I know. Hold on a minute. It should be playing. Hold on a second. They're not hearing that at all? All right, hold on a minute. Let me fix this. Hold on.
Do you have it? Do you have it on an 8-track?
I need it on an 8-track. Hold on a second here, buddy.
Phonograph.
Let's see here. Phonograph. Oh, well, that's why. Hold on, please. And I just clicked the wrong thing, Jackpot. Hold on, let's see. To hear that. Hold on. Hold on a second here. I've got to get. All right. All right. So with that, hold on, Jack. Yeah. Mm. All right. So you guys can't hear that. I'm gonna have to leave and come back, Jackpot. Entertain the fans there for a second. Let me get my stuff squared away. I'll be right back.
Okay. So everybody, drop it down in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about what games are you looking forward to seeing this weekend. There's some good ones. I actually think I don't know. I don't know if the Florida State game is going to be worth a damn this year. It was in Tallahassee, but that was on Friday, which is weird. I don't think they normally play on Friday. 8:50 Matthew, you confirm that? I don't think they've ever played on Friday before. The Ohio State Michigan, that is going to be a game, and I'm sure it'll be on at noon. It always is. It's that one. I think it's in Columbus this year, so that's going to be a huge matchup, and I'm looking forward to seeing that one. I think our South Carolina game and our South Carolina Clemson games aren't at the same time as that. So unfortunately, I'll have to have it down on both screens. We'll have Ohio State, Michigan up on the big TV, or the TV in the cabinet, and the Gamecocks and the Deeble shits on the one down here in the floor. USC Notre Dame will be a good one. I don't know what time that game is. Biscuit, let me ask you a question. Since I see you over in the chat, are you a little bit concerned about the old-fashioned 8 game this year? Is there any concern creeping in after you saw what about Georgia Tech coming from down 17 yesterday on the road to win at North Carolina? And then, you guys kind of sputtered there against Kentucky, didn't look real good. I doubt that was your best football. So, is there any concern creeping in? You guys are favored by 35, I think. And I think that's just a crazy line. But, it could definitely happen. If Georgia plays their A game or even their B game, they're going to crush Georgia Tech. Brandon says Powdersville beat Daniel into the 36-game winning streak. That's unreal. Because when I was managing Ingles over in Easley, when I started that store in 2014, Powdersville had just opened a couple of years prior to that. And they were just like getting their first senior class through there. And now, look at them. They're a powerhouse in high school football. They're better than Wren or any of Easley or any of those teams around there. Clinton gets them. Where's that game at? Hell, I might like to try to go. Paul White, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it. Marty, I was wondering about that too. I don't know if you looked on Amazon. That's the only thing I would know. I don't know where Beamer got that from, but it was that thing was badass. I liked that a lot. Really did. If anybody was wondering, it was a black Gamecock hat with a red, white, and blue Gamecock right there. Vanderbilt could beat Tennessee. I don't think it's likely. How am I feeling? Rob says he's restarting. He's turned the ball over tonight more than Miami did against Duke. When did the high school teams in South Carolina play their state title games? Brandon Kuhn, if you're still in the chat, answer that question because I don't know. Tom says go to the USC bookstore. They've probably got an online store there. Marty's over in Hawaii. He's a Rainbow Warrior. He's serving our country in the Air Force. Good guy. The Ducks and the Beavers will be good. I honestly, I want to play them in a bowl game. The Cocks and the Beeve. I mean, we'll probably get our shit pushed in, but because they run the ball. The Rainbow Warriors did come back last night. They were playing UNLV in the late game. Aaron Anderson, thank you for the 5. Willie Taggart to South Carolina. Just kidding, but South Carolina seems to be years ahead from Muschamp days. Go Dogs. Yeah, I mean, and Uncle Lou talked about this on the South Carolina video he put out yesterday about Shane Beamer and that being a nice guy. And, talk about Will Muschamp. Will Muschamp is not a nice guy. And like Lou was saying, he is a born defensive coordinator. He does not need to be running a program. That's not what he's good at. He looks healthier. He looks like he's more energized. He looks like he's more into it as a defensive coordinator or co-defensive coordinator, whatever he's doing. And on top of that, he looks like he's enjoying what he's doing. He did not look like he was enjoying what he was doing at South Carolina. And we certainly didn't enjoy having him around, especially the last 2 years. Those last 2 years were rough. I mean, I couldn't support that guy. I gave up on him after the North Carolina loss in 2019. And I didn't give up on him and then come back like I did last week with my team either. I mean, I gave up on him solid. I should have gave up on him after we lost to Virginia in the bowl game in 2018, but I gave him one more chance. James Thompson, what do I have for you? What do you mean? What do I have for you? What are you talking about? You're over there rattling stuff off in the chat. Look, you people are you're really starting to write some checks with your mouth that I don't know if your team's asking cash. I just don't know if they can. I mean, you're not that good. I mean, you really aren't that good. I mean, Notre Dame absolutely skull drug you people for 4 quarters. That was domestic violence at its worst over on the Peacock Network for 3.5 hours a couple of weeks ago. I mean, look at some of your performances this year. What really makes you think that, well, yeah, you beat a Miami team that is in absolute shambles. You beat a Miami team that was in absolute shambles. I mean, that team is not good. They don't know what direction to go. They want to get rid of their offensive coordinator. We aren't that good, but you were never anything. I mean, brother. I mean, last night we squarely kicked the rear end up around the shoulders of the team that that was ahead of you guys in the rankings. Whether they should have been there or not is irrelevant. They were ahead of you in the rankings. We don't want to talk about that, do we? We don't want to talk about that. What in the world is he doing? He said he was restarting this. This is just, I mean, this better be good, whatever he's got. I mean, I'm not, these voicemails, he says 3 minutes long. I bet you it's some drunk goofball, kind of like Carolina Jackpot, probably just rambling on about nothing. Really like to get the show going on here. 7-5 next year for the Tard Man. Unfortunately for them, you may be right. You may be right. We may have seen, the beginning of their they're faltering back to mediocrity. And I have some tweets and Facebook stuff. What is he doing? He's cursing now. He's got some tweets and all kind of stuff that I'm going to share probably tomorrow with you all. It's not going to be the traditional sour grapes video. I'm just going to loop them all together because I've got like 50 of them. And I'm just going to loop them all together and it's just going to play. So you can feel free to pause on one and read it when you want to. But I mean, some of the stuff that I've seen online this morning, there's just so much that I couldn't possibly go through all of it. But, I've seen things that range from, if Hendon Hooker hadn't got hurt in the fourth quarter, we could still come back and won. I've heard stuff like Jeremy Banks didn't play because he's pissed off at Hendon Hooker, and they got into it before the game, and it was the offense versus the defense. It was about to get in a fight in the locker room, and that's why we lost, is because the defense took a dive because they didn't want to play for the offense, so they just went out there and just basically let South Carolina do what they wanted to. Yeah, right. I mean, some of this is just absolute verbal diarrhea. Verbal diarrhea. If you lost, take an L. I mean, I've been doing it for years.
Jackpot, my friend.
James, you're correct. I mean, you could care less about the Voltards. I can't agree with you more. I would like to get more Clemson fans involved in this show, and really get them going back and forth. We got a lot of them over on Facebook. There's not a lot of them on YouTube. I'd really like to get them. They're here going back and forth. There's not really that many Clemson fans on YouTube, period. I mean, to be a program as highly thought of, as highly ranked as they are year in, year out, I mean, you got Pigskin Pete and Bobby Durkins are like the only two Clemson content creators that I know of. And I just think, I mean, you'd think there'd be tons of them. I mean, there's tons of Georgia content creators. I mean, but yeah, not so much. It's kind of strange. You're not on Facebook. Right. We know that. I'm talking about there's a lot of Clemson fans on Facebook that watch our show from there, sir.
So, Jackpot, I'm having to hack in through my phone for a second because Windows sucks and I had to do a Windows update. So we're going to take calls as soon as this update is done. But, yeah. I agree with you on the Clemson folks. There should be more Clemson content creators. I just like to talk college football. I don't want to be one of those guys that just talks just one team. That's no fun. So that's why, I mean, I could probably put together a Clemson show, but it's just no fun, to be honest with you.
Dennis Hollyfield says he saw Frank Beamer crying last night, and then he gives a laughing face with the tears. I mean, what's funny about that? I mean, he's happy for his son. I mean, if you have a son, if he went out and accomplished something, like my son, when my son has his first real big accomplishment at his job or something, I might tear up a little bit, I mean, that's not, there's nothing wrong with that. They're emotional people. I mean, they are. I mean, I think we know that already. And if you saw Shane during his press conference, that's one of the things that I like and I don't like about Shane is during his press conference, as soon as he starts them off, last night he sat down and said something about, I mean, that was, it was a great win by our guys, contrary to what most of you folks thought. I saw all the press coverage. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I mean, to each his own, and he's got his own style. But, like, you don't see coaches like Kirby Smart or Dabo or Nick Saban or, whoever, insert name here. Nobody else really does that. So it's kind of weird.
Super chat, second G.A. Doug, thank you for the $5. Says, as a Georgia fan, I was riding on chalks for that win. Congratulations, Jackpot. Go Dogs. Where's Chris from Georgia? Look, as soon as my freaking computer gets done with the update, we're going to open the phone lines. I do think Tennessee fans, especially, I've got to play this clip from the Talkin' Vols podcast. I'm going to play in just a moment, where this is before the game, that they were absolutely just dickhead rude to Kale. And I want to call out the assholes that with the stuff they said, especially the ones talking about, why don't you call us after the game? Well, he did try to call after the game, and you wouldn't take his fucking call. That is the worst kind of fan ever. So we're gonna name names here shortly with those guys. Just ridiculous. And Kale you sent him money too.
That's I sent them $5. Now agreed. Yeah, I mean, I kindly Yeah, I kind of made a little bit of a smart ass crack when I sent it, but still, that's the point is. I mean, I did send him $5. Brandon Kuhn over there, he says he could see Carolina Jack Pike tear up a little bit when I was talking about Dak Joyner, and I mean that's true. I mean I did. He that guy has been here since 2018. I remember watching him getting his first real action in 2018, running around against UTC, the Snake. We actually beat the Snake by like 30 points. Some teams might want to take a note on how to do that. But I mean, he's been around that. That's been a long time ago, and he has played multiple positions. I mean, he sat the bench, it seems like, for extended periods of time, never really getting used. I mean, he was kind of like, I don't know, I kind of equate it to like the toy that you used to like to play with for like 3 hours on Christmas morning until you got a better toy, so you thought, and then you just kind of put it off to the side and you don't play with that toy again, except for like every so often when it's convenient for you. And just to see him last night, he gets out there on the big stage, and it sinks that it had to take an injury to Marshawn Lloyd and CBS to really get him out there, because if those two had been healthy and playing, I don't know that we would have seen that. And you know what, Rob? You might think this is a little crazy of me saying this, but if those two were healthy and they played, I don't know that South Carolina won that game last night.
Well, here's the other thing, too.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But here's the other thing, Jackpot. If those guys are healthy, how do you put them into the mix this weekend? Why? I mean, seriously, you put up the most points ever as an unranked opponent against a top 5 program, and now you're going to change shit? No. Why in God's name would you do that? And I'm not mocking Marshawn Lloyd, and I'm not mocking Beal Smith. I'm just saying the game plan that they ran last night, where you had no clue what the hell they were going to do. I mean, it literally was like they were throwing darts at a dartboard. We'll run this play, we'll run that play. And, the Tennessee defense is shit. Let's be honest about that. But they were on ice skates all damn night. And I think that going into the Clemson game, if you take off the Clemson goggles for a second, if I were a South Carolina fan, hey, I want to incorporate those guys, but then who doesn't get touches? Are you going to tell Bell, who played his ass off last night, now you don't get any touches, you have to give up 5 touches and give those to Lloyd? Are you going to tell Juju McDowell, hey, you have to lose some of your playing time because these guys are coming back? I think that's going to be a hard thing to deal with, in my opinion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. What Wesley here? Okay, finally we got some Vols showing up in the chat. I was about to say they've ghosted. I did not think that would happen. I was like, we got 222 people watching. That's approaching record numbers. We really appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up while you're here too, if you don't mind. But Wesley Abrams showed up to take his medicine, which is cool. He said, "You motherfuckers sound so good pontificating." Rob, I'm not a smart man. What does that word mean? Be my Webster's dictionary for a moment, please.
Hold on. I'll ask the person with multiple college degrees. Honey, what does pontificating mean? I mean, I'm trying to get the actual Webster's version, and I can't. My computer is fucking with me, Jackpot. So, it's like I'm all over the place. Can you give me the pontificating definition, man? I think that means talking back and forth and speaking. That's what I would go with. But expressing your opinion in a way that is considered annoying or pompous. First of all, everything we're saying this evening, Wesley, is not pompous. It's actually factual. You gave up 9 touchdowns to South Carolina. Go and play in the fucking Cotton Bowl and shut your mouth. That's the only thing that you can do this season now. You're not going to the playoff. You're not going to the New Year's Six. You're going to go to the Cotton Bowl, and you may get your dick handed to you there, too. Shh. Give up 9 touchdowns to South Carolina. 9. And they didn't have their one running back, their 2 running back, and they've got an offensive coordinator that's probably going to get fired next Monday. That's who you gave up 9 touchdowns to. Stop with your bullshit, sir. It's ridiculous.
Nine.
I mean, I don't know. 9 touchdowns. How the fuck does that happen? How do you give up 9 touchdowns? And you want to be honest? If South Carolina didn't take a knee, they could have hung the damn dime on you.
They could have hung 70. God.
Shut up. Especially all of you that were running your mouths. Oh, well, we're going to go in there. We're going to beat the shit out of them. And remember last year we were up 30. Yeah, that happened in that shithole that you play in. You don't play well away from home. You don't. You've had, 3 road games that we can talk about? You went to LSU and you won that game at noon. If you played there at night, you probably would have lost. You had issues at Georgia. What? Go ahead.
In the world, in Clemson world, you know what? I equate that loss. That was almost, and that was something like that. That was almost something like that 2011 Orange Bowl against West Virginia. Except I think West Virginia was a better team than South Carolina was last night to Tennessee, but it was something like that.
I can feel you on that. With the West Virginia game, though, West Virginia got turnovers there at the half, and it was like a 14-point swing. It wasn't like that. There was 1 turnover in the game, and that's when the game was over. You didn't use special teams. You didn't have Kroger out there throwing touchdown passes. No, you lined up man on man, and you beat the fuck out of them. They looked like a shithole last night. I mean, and it was not even. And look, I'm it's hate week, and I hope you motherfuckers lose every game that you play. But we have to be honest here on the program. That was not a team that should have even remotely been in the top 5. They are a shithole. Simple as that.
Tyler Hendrick says the funny thing is we're going to a New Year's Six Bowl, so at the end of the day, who gets the last laugh? I don't know about that, and I'm not being facetious here. I don't know that you win in Nashville on Saturday.
Every bowl projection out there has you not going to a New Year's Six Bowl, so there's that. So gimmick, yes, Tiger Red Devil is correct. The gimmick offense, once you figure it out, and by the way,
Tyler says, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know the whole gist of it as far as what the line is with the Vanderbilt game yet, but I watched the majority of the Vanderbilt Florida game, and the game's at Vanderbilt, and after watching the way that you played and without Hendon Hooker, you better go with your hat in your hand and hope you can win that game, because Vanderbilt could beat you. You are not special. You're not. So there you go. I'm waiting. My computer is so stupid. I can't stand the fact that it's updating right now. But anyway, yeah. So we had that game, Jackpot, which we could talk about forever. But there were other games too. Florida loses to Vanderbilt. By the way, Vanderbilt has 2 SEC wins in November. Tennessee has 1. Those are just facts, sir. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but it's just the way that it is. Hall and Oates says Tennessee's going to the Birmingham Bowl, and I'll go because it's 20 minutes from my house. He said he won't cheer for Tennessee.
Shout out to BVD over in the comment section. He said, gimmicks ass. Y'all were on fire last night, but that gimmick still scored 38. And if we had a fucking D, we win. But congrats to the cock chicken. Well, yeah, I mean, that's true.
Let's put this into perspective too. I watched Uncle Lou had a video last night, and he put it in about 15 seconds. He said, Tennessee fans need to learn that there are 2 sides of the ball, and I'm paraphrasing here, so don't get pissy with me if I misquote you, Uncle Lou. But defensive.
I can't hear him now.
And I know this is new to some of you new folks that have been out there. If you don't have a good defense, though, you can't be a championship level team. You just can't. It's not the way shit works.
Hendon Hooker, thank you, sir. 28-11 all-time versus South Carolina. We own your program. Yeah, well, I mean, it's too bad the overall record couldn't put a uniform on last night. I'd have been able to help you out a little bit.
Yeah, well, my AirPods just died, so everything's dying on me tonight. It's stupid. So my computer is at the 65 percentile. So we'll get there. James with a good question, Jackpot. Why did your fans eat bushes and throw trash on the field? I
don't know. You tell me. Clemson fans throwing trash on the field too.
This is not about Clemson, sir. This is about. I don't know why.
It's been a while.
I don't know why they took the damn stuff off the ground. That didn't make any sense.
Here's my thing. Y'all might think that this is a little bit silly. It's a water bottle, and I know the mustard bottles and all this, that, and the other. Have you ever seen? I mean, have you ever walked the stadium after the game? I mean, just walk up and down that. I mean, how nasty it is. I mean, Here's my point. Somebody's gonna clean it up anyway. I mean, who, in the grand scheme of things, who really gives a shit? I mean, I wouldn't do it. I mean, because I was raised better. But, I mean, it's not like these people, I don't think, are going to suffer an eternal damnation because they tossed a Dasani water bottle on the field. I mean, come on.
Yeah, there's that too. Anyway, as we're getting closer and closer.
If you listen to some of the wrestling podcasts back in the day, there was the Honky Tonk Man talked about wrestling in Puerto Rico for a while on a baseball field. And he said these kids grow up playing nothing but baseball because it's all they do down there. And they would go to the wrestling matches, and when the heels would go to the ring, that you had to enter from one side of this baseball stadium and kind of sprint to the ring because they would throw rocks at you. I mean, you had to outrun the rocks. And these kids are 11 and 12 years old, and they got arms like a minor leaguer already.
Yeah. Read Brock's comment there, Jackpot, because it's a good one.
Brock says, Heupel at UCF had a decent year 1, amazing year 2, and declined from year 3 on. Why? People figured out his offense and were able to expose them. Yeah. Yeah. Funny thing was, Rob, he was the offensive coordinator at Mizzou back in 2015, 2016-ish. Yep. I really don't remember them being real explosive, and I don't remember them having a whole hell of a lot of success.
I think he was there for the last year of Drew Lock, and they were pretty good. So,
who was the head coach there when he was there?
I think he was there.
Stinkle or
I think it was Pinkle. I think he was there last year for Pinkle. I don't think it was.
What was that Jamoke's name after him?
It was Pinkle, and then Odom, and then now it's the.
Barry Odom. Yeah.
And by the way,
he calls into the Mazodcast pretty regularly.
Yeah, we're gonna play the voicemails that people had. It's just my computer is being dumb. I'm getting this for a message. It sucks, and I'm gonna fix it. It's just updating, so give it a second here. Yep, that's the guy who was Arkansas's defensive coordinator now. There is a Arkansas. They rolled Mississippi yesterday, and the big thing with that too is that Arkansas plays Mizzou this weekend. Mizzou needs that win to go to a bowl.
Yeah. And what was the score of the Arkansas game yesterday against Tennessee?
Against Ole Miss, it was like
Ole Miss.
I can't remember. No, I'm not running Windows 98. It's some stupid update.
They beat them by a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't close. So,
talking about the contest. I mean, I've kind of pretty much packed it in until next year. I guess my picks were shitty, and I don't know.
You can get into the bowl pick'em challenge.
Obviously.
You might win that.
Yeah, I mean, they were horrible. 4 wins this week. I think it was about the same last week. So I'm done. It just I don't know, and I don't know if you saw the stats. I mean, how many people actually took South Carolina? There couldn't have been many. There couldn't have been.
I took them, just for the record. I took them.
That's true. You did.
Yeah, because I don't pick Tennessee at anything. So
Uncle Lou with a great comment here. We didn't. I talked about this last night. Number 5, Haddon on Tennessee's defense should have been left in Williams-Brice parking lot. Yeah, that's true. And this guy, all he did was run his fucking mouth the entire game. And the thing about it was when he was sitting out here getting fucking housed. I mean, he's not a good defensive back at all. And this guy is straight doo-doo. And he was getting worked the entire game, and then sitting here running that mouth. He should have done should have pulled a Rashawn Golden or whatever his name was, and went and flipped off all the Carolina fans in the end zone. That would have been like icing on the cake.
SEC Dog with a good point here. South Carolina scored so much they ran out of fireworks. Yes, they ran out of fireworks for the touchdown celebrations. That actually happened. Your defense is so shitty, they ran out of fucking fireworks. How does that happen? Yeah, there's that too. So, anyway.
Rob, we bring a chicken out of a box in a suit before the game. We're not running a high-tech operation anyway. Running out of fireworks is probably the least of our problems.
Well, that's a good problem to have, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
So there's that. But
I wish we had the train horn like they have at Rutgers, because you'll never run out of beeps on that train horn.
Yeah. Rob D says, who actually prepares 10 touchdowns worth of fireworks? Well, if you're playing Tennessee, you should. You should. They let that be known last night. Maybe Shane Beamer was like, man, we're out of fireworks. Let's stop scoring. That's probably why you didn't score 77 instead of 63, Jackpot. Might have had a little bit to do with it.
Could be.
Maybe that had, I don't know. We'll see on that.
Yeah, Brandon over there online talking about Cam Smith shutting down Jalen Hyatt. You saw the interview after the game. They asked him, was there a lot of trash talk going on between you and him during the game? And it was just he just like, there ain't no trash talk when it's one way. Yeah, that's all he said. And I was just like, oh man, that was great. I mean, this guy run his mouth, and everybody sat there and flapped that yap all week long about he was going to go to Williams-Brice. He was going to have 250 yards receiving because Will Muschamp didn't offer him a scholarship and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, I mean, who gives a shit they didn't offer you a scholarship? You went to Tennessee and blossomed. You went up there and you play in a offense at Tennessee. There's no way you would have had the kind of success at South Carolina that you've had at Tennessee this year and last. So, I mean, enjoy it. I mean, who really gives a damn? But I get what they're saying. But, yeah, he absolutely got shut down last night. It was a non-factor.
Yeah. I think the big thing with that was the stuff that he did say beforehand, where it was like, hey, you know what? I'm looking forward to this game. They didn't offer me. Shut up. I mean, seriously, shut up with all that nonsense. You're a great player. What does it matter? You went up there and you showed them. Now what? Kind of
well,
crazy.
The thing about it is, I know some about recruiting. I don't know a lot. I certainly don't proclaim myself to being kind of expert on it. But I mean, you can't offer everybody. Uncle Lou said, "I hope number 5 for Tennessee defense burns his turkey on Thanksgiving."
Oh my God. That's funny
John
too.
Edward Kruger says thoughts on the BS targeting on Nick Emmanwori. Yeah, that was ridiculous. It really was. And then there was also another horrible call where they called a face mask on South Carolina because a South Carolina player grabbed the back. I think it was he grabbed the back of Hendon Hooker's helmet, like up underneath here. He grabbed the back of it as he was tackling him, and they called a penalty for a face mask. So, well, it's the same thing as a face mask. Okay.
All right, I'm coming in through my computer now. I'll be right back.
All right, we're getting How is grabbing the back of his helmet the same thing as a face mask? And that's what they call it. The good thing about Nick Iwari, at least his targeting was in the first half, so he's not going to have to miss the first half of the Tater game. That's huge. I noticed yesterday too. There was a Florida player. I can't remember his name. He's been around there for a while. Ventrell Miller. He was big mad over on the sidelines. He got called for targeting against Vandy, and he's gonna have to sit the first half of the Florida State game. It was targeting on Iwari if you wanted to go, I guess, by the rule book, but there really wasn't anything you could do at that point. So, that targeting penalty is great when it's working for your team. It ain't when it's working against your team. Justin says, will Cadillac Williams get the Auburn job if they beat Alabama? Yeah, I doubt it. I don't know if that guy's – what was his position before? And does anybody know? It just seems like all these teams – I know the past two times Florida State has either lost their head coach or fired their head coach. Odell Haggins takes over as the interim coach until a replacement is named. He did it before when Jimbo Fisher left, and he also did it after Willie Taggart was fired. And I didn't even know Odell Haggins was even on the staff. But, I mean, they must think a lot of him because he went through two head coaching terms there. Auburn should not hire Cadillac Williams. Yeah, I mean, he's done an admirable job. He was a cheerleader prior, I think. Were you a fan when Brad Scott was coach? I was a fan when Jim Carlin was the coach. So, yeah. Yeah, I remember Brad Scott. I remember his son, Jeff, on the sideline, too. Little kid. Grover went inside. He had a little to do with all that trash talk. It was a Tennessee hype machine, too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. I'd never heard him publicly come out and say anything online or anything like that. I mean, I don't know. He seems I've never heard the kid speak. So I mean, then again, I don't watch any Tennessee press conferences, but so Travis says targeting's gotten ridiculous. Yeah. Justin Martin says the Green Ranger has passed away today. I don't know who that is. Enlighten me. Brandon says Jeff Scott was an excellent high school coach at Blythewood High. Yes, he was. Ricky LaFleur says Uncle Lou is YouTube college football. Other channels selling their souls for bland content and 5,000 views at best. I mean, I don't know if you're sitting here throwing some kind of shot at me or my channel personally, but if so, I mean, you can go fuck yourself. I mean, we're all out here just having fun. I don't do this for a living, and 5,000 views is pretty good. If you know how many YouTube channels there are in creation? I mean, there are literally millions of them. So, I mean, don't come at me with that garbage. And it's also, by the way, we're just going to get rid of you altogether. Yeah, I like Lou, like his content. That's great. I mean, you're in here trying to sling shit at me and my channel. I don't think so, my friend. That's not the way it works. RJ Young. Rob is having some issues tonight, isn't he? Gracious of my life. Tell you, I enjoy seeing everybody over here. Philip Milton says the Talking Vols said they would cancel their YouTube channel if Vandy beats Tennessee. Are you serious? There ain't no way. There ain't no way. The Uncle Lou says G. White tight rolls his jeans. I wonder if he wears fat laces and parachute pants. Rob needs to just go to bed at this point. Yeah, he's having some issues over there. He really is. We got 245 people watching. I appreciate everybody being here. Hope you've hit the like button on your way in. He's going to get things straightened out here in just a few minutes. We're going to take some phone calls tonight. I got to tell you, though, I'm looking at the chat and I see some Dan the Man Fielding. You may not believe it, but I actually get that reference. And yeah, he was a snatch slayer for sure over on Night Court. I'm disappointed in the Vol fans. I gotta say, I'm disappointed. You guys, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. Wesley popped in for a minute. We've got some Clemson fans here. We got some Gamecock fans here. We got a lot of Georgia fans here. We got a Kentucky fan in the house. Where's my Tennessee people at? I got a Florida man here. Absolutely no Vol fans hardly in the house. Bow hunting is there. There he is. I mean, I knew you would. Okay, Jerry is a Vol fan since 1987. So show up. Austin says the videos are better when it's just me. A1 content. I appreciate that, sir. I heard you call in, by the way, today on the Menace to Sports podcast. And then I sent them a super chat, and they read it, and Chris said, wait a minute. Didn't Carolina Jackpot go off on us on one of the episodes? And I'm like, no. And Zach Smith's like, no, I don't think so. No, it wasn't me that went off on them. They're thinking about it was Pigskin Pete who had went off on Zach Smith on Twitter, and he sent something back and forth to him. And he read his comment the next day out there and called Pigskin Pete. He called him Foreskin Pete. And called him a bitch-made bitch and all this stuff. And I'm like, dang, that was brutal. But, I mean, I like Pigskin Pete, though. I mean, he obviously doesn't have any love. He doesn't have love for Zach Smith because he was trashing Dabo. That wasn't you? There was an Austin that – well, it was somebody. I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody else. But anyway, it's a good story anyway. He called him Foreskin Pete. I was calling him Foreskin Pete before anybody was.
All right. So I think better. All right. So Jackpot, let's see. I think I fixed it now. See if people can actually hear this.
Hey, this is the Biscuit. I just wanted to wish volunteers a good time next week checkerboarding Vanderbilt. That should be fun.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear that in the in the chat over there? I hope that you can.
All right. Biscuit.
Very good. All right, I got one more voicemail to play, and then I want to play this bit from the Talking Balls podcast where they were very rude to Jackpot. Here you go. Try this first.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Bart. First off, just to address the Georgia game, Georgia played with their food yet again. But you know what? Not too upset about it. Kirby didn't seem upset at all, which is kind of rare for him. So it is what it is. A lot of top teams struggle. But I've had a day to reflect, to calm down. The real reason I'm calling is about the Tennessee game. Tennessee just got absolutely dicked by Shane Beamer, Spencer Rattler, and the entire state of South Carolina. I know how Jackpot says sometimes, well, it was nothing they did, it was all that we did. That's not true in this case. It was all South Carolina did. Tennessee, looked like the same team they've been all year. They just got absolutely dicked.
All right, so we're going to leave it with that, and thank you guys for your voicemails. All right, so that's Dr. Bart. So you guys, thank you for checking out the show over there. Lou says Tennessee gave up 9 touchdowns yesterday. Georgia's given up 11 all year. Thanks for that.
Yikes.
Babe Wade says we're the best show on YouTube. There you go. All right, before we do the phone calls, which everybody wants to do really quick here, as you can hear the phone starting to go off. This is from the Talking Balls podcast yesterday. This is pregame where Jackpot went and sent them some money, and this is how these clowns treated Jackpot.
You know what the beauty of having your own YouTube channel is? A dickhead can leave a super chat and you don't have to read it. You can just take their $5, put it in your pocket. And
Thank you, sir.
Hey, let me tell you something, buddy. Since you're in the chat, you had every opportunity. You had every opportunity to come on here and expose yourself to a huge audience, and you shot yourself in the foot like a moron. So thank you for the $5. Kick rocks. We're about to boat race your team. We'll see you post game.
Worked out great.
Post game, sweetheart. Let's see if you got the balls to come around and hang out post game, buddy.
No, I think
Got it.
I think
Hold on. Are you telling me a South Carolina fan tried to talk trash?
they did.
It was very weak. Driving around in his car. He was talking trash.
They beat
my God.
Sure be cool if you did, bro.
Somebody reminded him that he's a South Carolina fan, right?
I didn't know South Carolina had fans, to be honest with you.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
I didn't know they could drive cars.
I can't be a fan of anything that has a cock as their mascot. I just can't do it.
Imagine Scott being a grown man going around and saying, "Go Cox."
I play that because the guy that started it, and I want to make sure that we put his name out there because he was not very nice to Jackpot. He didn't have to do the things that he did there, and he could have, even if you did do that at the beginning, and you invite him to come on post game. Jackpot, they ducked you post game.
Exactly. They ducked me post game because we kicked their ass. So I went on there post game and tried to send a $2 super chat or like $1.99 or something, and it wouldn't go through because they blocked me. So I actually had to go. They blocked me from sending a super chat because they blocked me. If I tried to comment, like I couldn't comment. So they blocked me from being able to super chat, and they let people know that I was blocked. So I actually went in under the Rockabilly account and talked a little bit of shit there, and then he was blocked too. But here's my thing. They're soft as fuck. They're Charmin soft because they invited me on post-game. Do you have the balls to come on here post-game? Well, yeah, I certainly do. I would have had the balls to come on there post-game after we would have lost anyway. I mean, I don't care. I mean, I have no shame. Okay? It's football, okay? It ain't life. It ain't that damn serious, but they sure made it that way. And all I did, I sent them a $5 super chat, and they're on a big board. There's like 10 of them there. Some guy down here in this corner, I believe his name was, maybe it was Austin or something. He looks like he eats trash out of the dumpster. But
there's the picture though right there, Jackpot. The guy that ran his mouth the most is Mr. Boogie Bentley to the top left.
He's a fucking idiot. I might send him a message. I might send him a message on Twitter and see if he wants to have a grown-up conversation. We ought to invite him on here, you know?
Well, they're more than welcome to come on here and talk about whatever trash bowl the program that they're gonna go to. But here's the thing. When you call somebody out, let them come on afterwards. We don't duck people here. So there are 260 something people watching the show right now. Please go over to the Talking Balls channel and ask them to hashtag free Jackpot because he didn't do anything to them.
I sent them a super chat and I said in my super chat, it said something to the fact of this looks like a Hollywood Squares of delusion. Okay, wow. Cry me a river. I mean, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. But anyway.
Right, well, people have been waiting, Jackpot, and I want to take calls if that's cool with you. Can we take calls?
That is absolutely wonderful.
All right. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. You can call the program now and do what you got to do. All right. So first caller of the evening. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey,
Hello.
Chris in Georgia. I don't know what y'all think I was ducking you.
Well, hold on, Chris. Please tell me a couple things here. First of all, you did not do cocaine tonight before you came on the show because we're going to give you ample opportunity to speak, sir.
Never done cocaine day of my life.
Well, good. All right,
Just
so go
easily
ahead.
acceptable.
Go ahead, because there's a lot of things that you said on the program that ended up being not very good. And at least you
Well,
are showing up to take your medicine, sir. So go ahead.
South Carolina, I mean, they laid it on us. I hate Hooker got hurt. I hate that we had to lose in embarrassing fashion. I am glad the game's early next year, so we don't have to wait a whole 12 months. We only have to wait 10. Yeah, I mean, South Carolina's crowd brought it. Spencer Rattler looked like year one at Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler for the first time in 2 years. It was embarrassing, but I mean, I think we gotta find some new DC. I don't know who we're gonna go with, but I mean, I said that I didn't have a problem much with the defense until it cost us a game, and it cost us a game. I mean, it didn't cost us the Georgia game. That was the offense couldn't get anything moving. I mean, they held Georgia to about half of their average output on scoring and total offense, but it cost us a game. It cost us a game big time. So honestly, I don't know who we'd go get for a defensive coordinator. I've seen Derek Mason's name mentioned some. He did all right at Auburn. He's doing decent.
I'm not trying to troll you here, but if I'm a defensive coordinator, why would I want to go to Tennessee? And here's my logic on that. At the pace that you play, which is why your offense could be something that kills your defense, you're out there so quickly, you can't. I mean, you run up the plays on the other side. South Carolina had the ball last night, I think almost 39 minutes of the game. If I'm a defensive coordinator, why should I go and do that?
I'll put it to you this way. Just like people say, oh, well, if a kid decommits from a school because of the depth chart, why would you want that kid? If a defensive coordinator sees it and goes, oh, you want to pay me $1.5 million or $2 million a year, but my stats might look bad, then he's not going to.
It's not an issue of your stats looking bad. It's an issue of you're already being set up to fail because you're going to have a defense.
DJ Durkin is a trash bag, and he was at an offense doing the exact same thing. Offense going 1,000 miles an hour, and he's making $2.5 million at Texas A&M. If you think it's going to ruin your career, then you're an idiot. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, the simplest thing is
you just answered my question for me. DJ Durkin was over a program where a young man died. He had to go and coach somewhere that would take him. It's a completely different animal there, sir. I'm saying
and now
going to
Texas
Tennessee
A&M has made him the highest paid defensive coordinator in the country.
But they have no soul out there either. All I'm saying is that if you're a good defensive coordinator, why would you choose to go to Tennessee? Why?
Because it's as simple as all you got to do is get a turnover or a stop, and you're not on the field that much. That's all you got to do. Offense scores fast. You go out there, you get a stop. I mean, that was 3rd and 20. That's not, we're tired. It was 3rd and 20. They put Spencer on his ass. I think they got a penalty, and it was 3rd and 20, and they let them convert 22 yards. Like that's not the offense scores too fast. No, I suck. I'm John Chavis 2.0, and I give up. I'm Todd Grantham 2.0, and it could be 3rd and 50, and I'll give the friggin' conversion up.
Hey, maybe you should have just listened to the show at the beginning of the season when we said that the Tennessee defense is shit, and you said doesn't matter. Remember that? Yeah, it does. There are two sides to football, sir. You play really well on one side, even though it's a gimmick. Well, you know it now. Maybe you should have just listened before you calling us idiots.
We're running a gimmick. South Carolina brought up the whole fucking playbook. Running Jakarian Jordan quarterback.
It's a gimmick, sir. It's a
tight end at running back. Like they were running anything they could.
Repeat after me. Gimmick.
South Carolina ran the gimmick offense last night.
They ran multiple gimmicks. It was adorable. It sucked, but it was adorable.
They ran every play, but the fucking.
Hold on.
What is Shane Beamer? 13 years
old. No, sir. I will not let you sit here and bash and say that it was adorable. You got smoked.
Shane Beamer out there grabbing his nuts. Sir. Like he's a fucking 40-year-old man balding. He's balding and he's out there grabbing his nuts like he's a 13-year-old on Madden.
Yeah, and you know what? He can drive.
What are you seriously sitting here insulting Shane Beamer Come on now, find some joy.
Just repeat after me. Say gimmicks, sir.
You were
It's
still
okay.
talking shit on Heupel after he beat the
Gimmick.
fuck out of you last year.
Oh,
So,
well,
it's good for
last
you,
year,
but
mean,
it's
last year
cool for
doesn't
thee,
matter.
but not
Yeah,
for me. Is
I
that how
mean,
you roll? Is that how you roll?
What happened the last time you played him, sir? What happened the last time Shane Beamer rolled his team out against yours?
That didn't stop Jackpot from talking shit all fucking
What
year. He got his
happened?
ass
What
beat last year, and
happened?
Jackpot. So I get a whole
What
year
happened?
of fucking shit talking. If he could do it
What
twice in a row, I
happened for
might shut up.
24 hours ago?
But Shane
What
Beamer
happened
still a
24
piece of
hours
shit.
ago?
You're still a fucking 7-win team.
Yep. Hey,
Shit.
might be an 8-win team.
a very
Yeah,
smart
right.
man from Kentucky sent me this bottle of bourbon that I'm sipping on tonight. His name is Big Barney Ross, and he said something about you Tennessee folks that pissed a lot of you off. Congratulations on finishing second in the East, because that's all you've got. Make sure you don't lose to Vanderbilt this
Year
weekend,
2, man.
okay?
If we're in year 10 of fucking like they are Mark Stoops and we're finishing 4th in the fucking East, I'll
Hey,
fucking
man.
kill myself. That's how
Well,
terrible
no,
fucking
please
Mark
don't kill
Stoops
yourself,
is.
sir.
Mark
We're
Stoops
not
is a
into
piece
all
of
that.
shit.
Whoa! That's not. Football is not worth that. Okay.
Don't kill yourself.
Fucking,
We don't want you doing
that's
that.
how pitiful Kentucky
We
fans
just
are.
want you to
They're
say
taking
gimmick.
solace in the fact that we
Are
lost
you
our second
mocking
game
Kentucky,
of the year.
sir?
They lost their
Sir.
second game of the year fucking 3 weeks in.
How does it
You're
feel
acting
to
like a
know-
baby. Are you calling from your playpen?
Oh my God.
Seriously, are you calling off a plastic phone from your playpen? You're acting silly.
Call this phone and talk shit are fucking anybody that's got a fucking win streak against us. So Georgia and South Carolina. So Kentucky fans don't need to call and say shit. Florida
Clemson
fans don't
does
need to
too,
call
by
and
the
say
way.
shit. Clemson fans who have a losing streak to us don't need to call and say shit.
No,
Like,
last time we played your team,
No,
we beat.
they actually don't.
Go fuck yourself. You don't. You only. The only thing you hear is Hendon Hooker, Josh Heupel, great. Then you go sit in the corner and jerk off like you're.
You going to be like the Georgia fans and clown Hendon for getting hurt? Is that what you're going to do now?
Did you listen to the program earlier where I said that
Well, I mean, aren't you the same fan base? Because I got receipts. I got pictures of your frat houses up here at Tennessee in 2015. They had bed sheets hanging on there making fun of Nick Chubb's broken knee.
I'm talking about individual people.
Did they make fun of Nick Chubb's knee injury or no? I think they
in
did.
a fucking wheelchair. So let's not start there. And you guys suck his dick like it's fucking going out of style.
None of us are blowing anybody around here, sir. The only thing I made fun of Josh Dobbs about is that his forehead looked like it had a map on it. That's the only thing I said about him.
Help either.
Okay.
But it don't matter to you.
You know what you can't help? You can't help that your defense gave up 9 touchdowns to South Carolina. You can't help that.
Rob, let's move on to the next caller, but we appreciate it, Chris.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it, Chris. Let's go to the phones. Welcome in.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's C-Dog, the Georgia Tech man.
Hey, man, what's going on? Congratulations.
Hey, Jackpot. Hey, congratulations to you, man. Hey, we're both
congratulations on your 1,000 subs too, and that.
Oh, thanks, Jackpot. I appreciate it, man. I really do.
I wanted to ask you something, and I was watching. I watch your videos a lot, and it's when you do your live streams and stuff during the games, especially when you watch the Georgia games. You've got hats and shirts for everybody that they play, and I was wondering about that UK hat you were wearing yesterday. That thing looked a little bit like it'd been around the block a time or two. Are you getting these? You're not actually paying big money for these articles, are you? You just grab them at Goodwill or something.
Oh yeah, no. The hats wherever Georgia's playing. Yeah, no. There's a little college football store by where I live. So yeah, if they're playing a team that I don't have, I'll go pick it up there. But I also like to do like college campus visits, and I'll get a hat from there too if I go there. So like I did a visit to Clemson and Tennessee, and I always get a hat when I go. So that's kind of what.
Did you check your shoes after you left Clemson before you got in the car, because it's pretty likely you stepped in something.
Jackpot, you got 6 days. 6 days. You need to be quiet.
Oh man. Hey man. I wanted to talk about I've been, obviously watching you. You're my favorite YouTuber, Jackpot. You're a really
Thank
big
you.
inspiration to me. And I was watching, and I feel like we share a lot of the struggles. I feel like our teams have gone through, similar seasons this year. It feels like every week, I've watched you. We've been kind of on the same wavelength. Like, we started out the year pretty crappy, couple blowout losses. Then we went on a little run with, beating some divisional opponents that nobody thought. We got a couple in a row that nobody thought. Then we lose to like one of the worst teams in the division. Then we like barely beat a crappy team in the division. Now we beat top ranked teams, and it feels like we've been kind of on the same wavelength. So. And man, I just want to say, I noticed the same thing is happening to you. You guys beat Tennessee, and all of a sudden the Clemson fans are coming in and flooding your comments with all this. They don't want to let you celebrate, do they?
No, and I mean that's fine. I mean the timing of the game was kind of weird because it's like a quick turnaround. You can't sell. I talked about this on my video today. I'm going to celebrate the Duvall win today, and maybe a little bit tomorrow. I'm going to put together some receipts for some of the silly stuff they said on Twitter. But then after that, it's 110% focused on the Taters, man, because I absolutely loathe them like fucking no other. I cannot stand their stupid asses. That damn Dabo, I just want to slap the taste out of his mouth whenever I see him. And number one, Will Shitley in their backfield is another player I can't stand. I have nicknames for just about half their players. You have Will Shitley. KJ Henry is K. Gay Henry. Their tight end, I think his name is Justin Brenningstool, is Brenningstool Sample. Yeah, so I have a lot of fun at their expense. Maybe Xavier Thomas can get in the game this. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Slap dick from East Boga, community
that is
college.
Awesome. I feel the same way about them damn Bulldogs and Kirby Dumb with his blonde highlights poking out the top of his stupid looking visor. I feel the same way, man. So listen,
right.
I know you guys got a ton of callers trying to get in here, so I'll let you go. But listen, hey man, good luck to you and your rivalry. Hopefully me and you freaking pull the impossible this weekend. And fuck Clemson and fuck Georgia. And I hope we both beat them.
Absolutely. Thank you, C-Dog.
All right, man. I'll see you later. Keep up the good work. See you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Next caller. Welcome to the program.
Hey, I just wanted to say this one thing. Can you hear me?
Here we go. All right, hold on a second, caller. How long are we going to give this guy Jackpot? Because your team got the win. Tell him how long
Is this the guy on drugs?
This is the guy that said that Josh Heupel would never lose another game at Tennessee. But
oh God,
caller, be quiet. How many seconds are we giving this guy, sir?
69.
Go. You have 69 seconds. Spew your nonsense.
I just wanted to talk to Jackpot for real. Jackpot, you can't take any credit for this win because you said you weren't supporting this team until there were staff changes made, and you deleted the video, which shows that you're not a man of your word. Second of all, I've been through a lot as a Tennessee fan, so I'm here throughout all the ups and all the downs, and I can celebrate when we win because I'm very upset when we lose. I'm not going to bail out on my team when we're losing, and then, we won. Oh, they made changes. They did good on offense, so now I'm a fan. It doesn't work like that. You lost a lot of respect.
All right. First of all, I didn't delete anything. The video is still there that you can go look back and look at it. It says that I'm no longer supporting this team until changes are made. It's there. Made it last Saturday afternoon. Hadn't been deleted. Second of all, it's my fandom, not yours. You don't get to pick and choose and tell me how to do shit. Okay. I have been watching this team. I've been going to games since the 1980s. Okay. So don't get in here, run your mouth to me and tell me what I want to do. Did Carolina Jackpot maybe go over the top a little bit denouncing the fandom? Yes. I probably went over the top just a little bit, but I got my point across. And guess what? People still going to like me. you're irrelevant, calling in here crying about something, trying to make an excuse. I mean, your team still got your ass whooped last night, so it doesn't matter if I'm a fan, a fake fan, a plastic fan, or what. It doesn't change facts.
You were down 28 when he got hurt, sir, in the second half.
No,
Doesn't matter. You were down 28 points when he got hurt, sir. You were down 28
Jackpot,
points.
I just want to say one more thing to Jackpot. Jackpot, I don't think it's right that you can pick and choose when you're a fan and when you're not. But that's just my opinion. But
all right, well,
but that's beside the point. My thing is, we would
your
have won that game
69
if it wasn't
seconds
for the
are up,
refs
sir.
doing what
I've
they
heard enough. Thank you. Have a good day. I can't deal with it, Jackpot. Can't deal with it. It's too late at night. Sorry. 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905.
I highlighted this one earlier. Tim Vierheller says Tennessee is still a better team. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess there's what can we really judge it on other than the head-to-head?
Yeah. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hello.
Great.
Hey, good. Okay, good. Did that last caller say that you don't get to pick and choose when you be a fan? But isn't he a Tennessee fan?
That's what he says.
Yeah. Well, they're all gone today. So why doesn't he worry about his own fan base? Half his own fan base is no longer a fan today. Where are they? So worry about that.
I think that they, as I said earlier, they went home and washed those sheets, got the mustard off of them, and they're heading to their weekly meetings.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So now the other thing is, what was the name of that Georgia Tech guy? What called in?
C-Dog.
See what? See what?
C-Dog.
Dog?
C-Dog. Yeah, C-Dog is his name.
Okay, I was just checking to make sure that's what you said. One more question. Has the Tennessee Vol football Twitter account announced yet what uniform gimmick they're doing this weekend for their Super Bowl against Vandy?
I think they're going with the black matte helmets with the usual orange tee with a checkerboard pattern on them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next caller, welcome into the program. Good evening.
Hey, this is Todd. I wanted to ask Jackpot if he thinks Satterfield was actually calling the plays.
I mean, I think he was. I mean, he had a play card over there in his hand. Yeah, I do. I really just think I think it all has a lot to do with who you're playing. And I mean, I can't. This is the most bipolar team that I've seen. I mean, I think he was calling the plays. Now, I mean, his contract's up at the end of the season.
He had input from some other coach or Beamer or something going on.
He had to, and that's like I said that, I said that, Shane Beamer's either giving him input, or it's him and Justin Stepp collaborating on them, or Freddie Kitchens and him are collaborating on them, something. And then I'll have people in the comment section. I'm tired of people talking about Sat not calling the plays, putting these rumors out there. Well, I mean, it's just we're not putting rumors out. I'm not putting a rumor out. I'm just speculating on what I see. I mean, it did not look like the same game plan. I mean, I think you and me or anybody with a set of eyes could see that. So obviously questions are going to be asked,
Well, one other thing I want to mention too. Now, I've been to most SEC games for about 23 years now, and Clemson, all the home games. And I can say that Tennessee is the most obnoxious fans and disrespectful fans of any of them. I've had good times with all the other teams, Clemson, the Works. You always have a bad one here or there, or the drunks or something. But the Tennessee fan, the average Tennessee fans are the worst. And I've been to a lot of games, you know, to represent that also.
All right. Hey, man, appreciate you calling the program, man.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. 803-470-2905. 803-470-2905. And we'll go out to the phones here. Welcome into the show. Hello.
What's going on, Carolina Jackpot? This is yours and everybody's favorite objective Tennessee fan, BBD. How you doing tonight, Jackpot? I know you're enjoying the win.
How you doing, sir? It felt good today. I know we didn't have a bet, but I'll still never forget the half dozen eggs and milk that I poured over myself a little over 2 years ago. That was really rough.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. I guess last night was payback for that. And to the last caller that called in, every fan base has dickhead fans. That includes Tennessee. That includes Georgia, Alabama. We've all got them.
Yep.
So I mean, to single out one fan base is kind of stupid in my opinion. But I guess everybody's entitled to their opinion. Man, all I can really say is congratulations. That was the most embarrassing loss I've ever seen in 40 plus years of being a fan, and I've seen some bad ones. The Georgia State loss a couple of years ago hurt my heart. The Memphis loss when Manning was there was horrendous.
I remember that.
But to let Spencer Rattler throw for 400 yards on us, I mean, even you, Jackpot, have to admit he was out of his damn mind last night.
It was from out of nowhere. It was like he could not miss. It's like everything he touched turned to gold. Never seen anything like it.
Yep, even when he was trying to throw it away, he hit a damn receiver. So that's no excuse for our shitty defense. And for a lot of these Tennessee fans that have been out of their damn minds this year, I kind of understand it, but they must be young. They'll learn. You know, it's the Tennessee way. My Vols build me up to let me down in every damn sport. So I'm never going to give up on them, though. I love my team just like you guys love your teams, and I'll stick with them. And there's no fucking way we're losing to Vandy this weekend.
No, I mean I don't think
Even
so.
with a backup.
If that happened, I would be shocked. But
thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you, BBD.
You guys have a good one. Enjoy it, Jackpot.
Thank you, sir.
There you go. Jackpot, I had a couple of pictures that you wanted me to put up there. Let me show you these really quick. Let's see here. Where is it? Oh, here's the first one. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hey guys, Ray Bob here. How y'all doing?
What's up, Ray Bob?
Hey man, I found out one thing last night about you, Jackpot. I didn't realize I was down in the Citadel about 4 years before you were down there. I didn't know that about you. That was fun to learn last night watching you.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was going to say, can you imagine how much Clorox they had to buy at the field house in Knoxville to wash the shit out of those pants?
They probably ran out. Clorox has went up too.
In Tennessee. Yeah, it's expensive. So anyway, I was just thinking about that, and you know, when we were talking about when Lou was asking what the uniforms are going to be for this next weekend, I figured, you know, that they may have a brown stripe down the back of them with checkered helmets or something. So
racing stripe, what we used to call them.
They may go all yellow if they have to go back to Billy Bryce, because they got beat.
Well, yeah, that's true too. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Ray Bob.
Let's see here. There's another photo. In addition to that one, that's true. The next photo here is let's see, not that one. Where is it? What did I do with it? Oh, this one's about you being a fan. Let's take this call first. Welcome to the program. Good evening. Hello. This is where you speak.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, this is Ray. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Jackpot. I want to congratulate you, man. I'm so happy for you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
You deserve that. You deserve that one. You have suffered quite a long time, and you put up with a lot this year between, I guess, the offensive, defensive coordinator, terrible play calling, Spencer Rattler not playing up to his potential. But just my little 2 cents worth on that. It seems to me that when you just put him back there and let him sling it all over the field, that the offense seems to look a lot better under him when he's playing that way. Because basically that's what they did at Oklahoma. Am I correct?
Yeah, it is. You know, and you got a real limited sample size of him there. I mean, he only played, you know, the only he had half of a 2021 season, but the COVID year was when he had his, you know, real season where he made an impact. And, you know, I mean, that was like, you know, wasn't a lot of people really watching that stuff, you know.
Right. And my observation on that is, well, your 2 best running backs are out, so what choice did you have? You had to sling it. Just my personal opinion, 2 cents worth. Well, Jesus, if that's what he's good at, and that's the guy you're going to go with, does he have another year eligibility left?
He does. The speculation is he's going to go on ahead and go try his hand in the league. I mean, and after last night,
that's
you'd have to think that.
Ready for that, but
yeah.
But I guess we'll see whatever he wants to do. But anyway, I called last week. I'm a Florida State fan. I called last week, and anyway, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, how do you think we're going to do against Florida? We got them at home. We've lost to them a few years in a row. I really think we're going to beat them, but it's like a situation where until you beat somebody, you're hesitant to say that you're going to beat them or not. So I'll hang up and listen. Do you think the outcome of the FSU Florida game and possibly a score? Have a great day, guys.
I think that FSU is going to win because I think Florida's the shits.
Yeah, I think FSU wins somewhere in the neighborhood of 35-13.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
G. Smith says Gamecocks was holding all night though. Okay.
Back out to the phones. Welcome into the program.
Hey guys, it's me, Justin. How y'all doing?
Justin,
good.
Welcome. Hello, buddy. Congratulations to your Gamecocks.
Thank you, man. Hey, guys, we had put 60-2 season. I don't think we ever did that before.
Yeah, I don't think it's happened, man. You're right.
Yeah, but I have to play away, guys. Far go. Y'all know the guy who played Green Ranger. He passed Wednesday on Jesse David Frank.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He passed away. I think he was the best Green Ranger in Power Rangers history. You know.
Yeah. Never like to hear about stuff like that, man. Justin, you're always welcome on the program, buddy. You know that.
Yeah, it was a sad day, but I gotta be strong. But rest in peace, you know.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Justin. You have a good Thanksgiving. Actually, we'll be doing a show Wednesday, so we'll talk to you Wednesday.
See you guys Wednesday.
All right, there you go. 803-470-2905, 803-470-2905. Fluke team balls down. Yes, for Luke. Yeah, we'll take calls till 11. 803-470-2905 if you have something else you want to get off your chest. It is rivalry week. There are some good games I would think that are out there. You've got Ohio State and Michigan right there on the top of the list.
Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially, in my opinion, a big. I mean, it's a CFP play-in. You know, I mean, you got to win that game to even remotely think about getting into the CFP. So,
Year of the Dog says Michigan is ass. Okay.
they are. I mean, you can make an argument that they are, or they can. I don't know, man. It's hard to. And I've talked with some Big Ten folks, and they'll tell you, look, that Big Ten schedule is tough, but they think that teams that are in the South are just faster than they are. They think that they have better, the rational fans. They have better offensive linemen up there across the conference, basically. But they think that just speed beats them when it comes to their teams playing teams from the South. So
I don't know. I mean, Michigan can run the hell out of the ball. I know that. So we'll see. They got a really good defense as well.
Let's see here. Elijah says, "Vol till I die. This is why we love college football. The craziest week to week. Hats off to the Gamecocks. They played a hell of a game." Yeah, they did.
Thank you, sir. I mean,
Roll Tide with a good comment here. There isn't a dominant team in the top 4 right now. Natty could go any way. I think that Georgia's
yeah,
still
I'm disappointed in the Tennessee, man. We've had a couple of call-ins, but I mean, over in the chat, I mean, they're pretty much conspicuous by their absence. We got G. Smith in here that showed up to take his medicine. Bo Hunting showed up to Hunter Slay showed up to take his medicine. But I mean, Wesley Abrams, who has been around the channel forever, I mean, shows up. He was telling me last week, I can't wait until Sunday night. I just can't wait until Sunday night after we kick that ass. And what's he do? He shows up and makes one comment about pontificating or whatever that shit was, and then he disappears like the 7-year itch.
I don't know. And by the way, we said this too. Once they lose a game, they'll all check out. And what did they do? So there's that.
Blake Wright says Kentucky lost to the Zags tonight. That's typical. They shit the bed too and back. How long? Can you believe that? It's been like they haven't been to a Final Four since like 2012 or some shit. I mean, but they're a basketball school.
They are.
Are they though? Are they though? I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to talk South Carolina basketball. Holy shit, man!
Yeah, they lost.
They've gotten pushed in 2 days in a row by Davidson and Furman. They're going to lose to the whole damn Southern Conference before it's over with. We done lost to Davidson and Furman. They got clown stomped Thursday night by fucking Colorado State. They didn't know Colorado State didn't have a fucking basketball team. That's embarrassing. How we beat Clemson, I'll never know. Clemson's not very good, but I mean, wow. And I mean, I think, not to disparage, I think Furman is a pretty decent team. I think they're like an NIT level team. But,
sure.
Man, I mean, they lost to them bad. I mean, it's by like 20 points, too.
A couple of games heading into this week. You've got on Thanksgiving night, Mississippi State and Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl. Friday, there's some good games, Jackpot. Tulane and Cincinnati. Couple of ranked G5 teams there. NC State and North Carolina at 3:30. Florida and Florida State. That game's at 7:30 that night. And then Saturday, Georgia Tech and Georgia, Michigan and Ohio State, South Carolina and Clemson, Auburn and Alabama. Alabama's a 21.5-point favorite there. Oregon and Oregon State at 3:30. What else we got? Utah and Colorado. Colorado sucks. Huh? Yeah, the Beavs.
Oh, LSU, Colorado. Ooh.
Yeah, they're terrible. LSU and Texas A&M at 7:00.
Do you remember when Colorado won a share of the national championship with Georgia Tech?
Yeah, that's when they had that preacher man coach, the guy that was like witnessing to folks. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, was it? I can't remember.
I can't remember his name either.
Who was that? Who was the quarterback? Was that Cordell Stewart?
Yeah, they had a good running back for that team. If I remember.
Was that Darian Hagan?
Let's see.
Maybe.
I'm looking up right now. I don't know if it was Hagan. Was it Hagan? I don't remember. Hold on. Let's see here. Colorado national title.
That was the year. Do you remember when they beat Mizzou on the Rashawn Salam? That's right. This Adam guy's been trolling all night, but he actually has some facts. That's who that was. And that was the year they had the 5th down game against Mizzou. If you remember that, they scored on 5th down.
Yep. Caller, welcome to the program.
Josh Heupel at Willie B last night.
So
I was about to say you called in just for that, but then the punchline was delivered in a delayed manner.
Good. So yeah, Darian Hagan was the quarterback on that team. Jackpot. Look at Jackpot with the football knowledge there. Welcome into the program. Good evening.
Hey, it's Big Barney Ross. I just wanted to call in and say congratulations on the big win. That was a good win over Tennessee. I have a question for Jackpot here. Now, Georgia's by far the most talented team in what we play in, and all we've done really is just beat each other up all year. What do you think it's going to take? And with South Carolina's took a big step forward this year, don't get me wrong, and I think they're going to do the same thing next year. What do you think it's going to take for South Carolina to be competitive for the SEC championship with Georgia every year? Now I look at Kentucky, and the gap is just so far. We're just so far away from that. I don't really think we're going to have a great year next year, but after that, I think we'll come back up. But I think South Carolina's got a pretty good shot next year. Just, looking at the recruiting and speed, and how far apart do you feel the talent gap is there? And what can South Carolina do to get on that level with Georgia to start competing for these East championships instead of just letting Georgia cruise like they are? And I'll get off here and listen to your response.
Well, I think the first key to South Carolina getting at or near that level is, man, brother, they've got to really start recruiting some good depth on defense. That's what Georgia's got. I mean, if you look at them, I mean, I don't remember how many it was, Rob, and how many players they put in the first round of the NFL draft off that defense last year. I mean, it's like everybody was drafted, and then they come out this year, and guess what? They got a dominant defense again. I mean, the first game of the season, they held Oregon to 3 points. With a head coach that knows the Georgia offense to some degree. I know Dan Lanning's a defensive guy, but still, I mean, he's been around the program. I mean, it's just unreal, and I think that's where you've got to start. The offensive talent on Georgia is. You look around that offense. I mean, you don't see that many. Hey, he's an All SEC player. He's an All SEC player. He's an All SEC player. But what they do works. If you get what I'm saying. And then they have great lines of scrimmage as well.
SEC players on the offensive line, and at tight end,
yes.
They've got guys that'll probably get drafted. But
Cock Bowers and then Darnell Washington is just amazing. So.
But I also think with Georgia, though, and even the most ardent Georgia fan will tell you, they don't have a Nick Chubb-like guy back there right now. They don't.
There's no Nick Chubb, no Sonny Michel. You don't see anybody like that back there right now. That's definitely. And I think Zamir White. I think they envisioned him. I think coming out of high school, he was envisioned to be that type of guy. And if you saw this guy's, he was from out of Laurinburg High School in Scotland County, North Carolina, which was right up there near where I was working at. And I mean, if you watch his high school film, he did some of that Marshawn Lloyd, Will Shipley stuff, hurdling people and just doing all kind of crazy stuff. But he stayed hurt a lot in college, unfortunately, and just never really was able to get rolling.
All right. Final call for calls this evening, 803-470-2905. I'm working on, I think we're going to have
will you throw that picture back up again, if you don't mind?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, no problem. Here we go. I got it right here. He goes, I'll read it and then you can react, Jackpot. How's that sound?
Sure.
Shane Stennard says, ha ha, now he's a fan. Denounced his fandom 7 days ago, now rocking a hoodie. Why does anyone even watch this guy? Stop calling yourself a Gamecock fan. You already said you weren't going to support him after a bad loss, so you don't get to celebrate in the good wins. Jackpot never does anything he says. Boo this man. Ha ha.
Okay. First of all, I never do anything I say. That's not true. I denounced my fandom and I stayed not a fan for 4 days. I said that I wasn't going to be a fan until changes were made. Well, changes were made. And the offense was actually potent on Saturday night. So guess what? And this guy over here, it's idiots like this that climb. They're over here like they're carrying the flag for the South Carolina fan base. Leading the crusade against Carolina Jackpot, who denounced his fandom out of anger at the way his team's playing for a few days. I mean, brother, it ain't that deep. It's not that big of a deal. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings, but you haven't taken me up on my offer yet. And I told you several times, Shane, that you could hit me up on Twitter at Hall_Kale. If you wanted to have a grown-up conversation about it, we could exchange phone numbers or something. Guess what? No Twitter message yet. Isn't that shocking? And if you want to hit me up on Facebook Messenger, it's the same way. Just put the Kale in front of the Hall. You can find me over there really easy. Ain't hard to find, my friend. Ain't hard to find.
Caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, this is a Texas A&M fan.
Holy shit. Hello, Texas A&M.
What's up, man? Big win yesterday.
Hey,
Congratulations.
Listen, last night was a shambles. I know I backed you up. I never called into that talking Vols bullshit, but I got on the website and gave them some shit, told them they were cowards, chicken shit motherfuckers. And the one dickhead, he said that if Vandy beats Tennessee, he's going to cancel his YouTube channel. So I want to make sure when Vandy beats him that we all remind him his show's finished. He's out of there, or he's a liar. So we got a confirmed lie against the motherfucker. At least that's on the air.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, I did the same thing, and I took it back. But we can still hold them to that standard because they're a bunch of assholes. I'm not an asshole.
No, not at all. And like I said, I get kind of wordy on here, so I'm going to try to keep it short. Listen, on this playoff situation, I watched Uncle Lou too, and I've learned how to take him now. At first, I was kind of a little set back by all his bullshit, but he's been around. And what do you guys think if by some chance A&M was able to beat LSU and then LSU turns around and beats Georgia, does Georgia get in then after being beat by a 3-loss LSU team? Just hypothetical.
Yeah, I think Georgia's in.
Yeah, probably.
But we're not.
I mean, at some point, you've got to look at it at some point and say, who are you going to put in? There's not one dominant team this year. There's not like in 2018 when Clemson was at Alabama, were both running through everybody they played like shit through a tin horn. And like Clemson in 2018, they were holding everybody they played under 200 yards. Well, except for one team. And then Alabama was just scoring in bunches against everybody. We don't have that this year. Nobody looks flawed. Nobody looks unflawed. Excuse me. I mean, we sat here and watched, Ohio State go on the road and struggle with Northwestern. We watched Michigan yesterday struggle with Illinois, barely beat them. I mean that, not take anything away from it. It's a good Illinois team, but they still struggled. So Johnny Bolton says UGA is clearly a dominant team. Brother, no, they're not. You beat Kentucky by 10 yesterday. I mean, I like UGA and
Right.
everything, but those are facts.
Well, I had something for Rob, and he said, last year it was pretty obvious, and I've come to agree with him over time that, A&M ducked out of the bowl game last year because they were down to like a walk-on quarterback, and all their guys left for the NFL, and they didn't want no part of Wake. And I agree with him. They ducked that game. Well, come to find out, they've done the same fucking thing this year. They went over to Auburn. And the best running back, they had him in a walking boot, fake injury. And then after the first play of the game, fucking Jimbo decides he wants to bench the best wide receiver because he's got sleeve bands on. Now, there's fucking 50% of our offense ain't there. So the problem is, if you beat Auburn and then you beat UMass and then you beat LSU, then you're 6-6, and you have to go to the Birmingham Bowl. He didn't want no part of the fucking Birmingham Bowl. So I know everybody's going to give me shit for this, but they threw the fucking Auburn game. If they wanted to win that game, they could have won the fucking game, but that would have put them in the shit bowl, and they didn't want no part of the bowl. So you watch what
maybe
my theory is going to be flawed if they get beat by LSU. My theory is going to be terribly flawed, but I think they actually fucking threw the goddamn game.
Well, okay, and you can have that theory, but I have the theory that maybe Jimbo just knows he's not a good coach. Maybe he doesn't want to coach anymore, regardless of where the fuck he is.
I think what you're going to see, Rob, is last year A&M figured out the NIL recruiting shit, and they got all these freshmen in there, and they realized that was a big risk, and it blew up in their face. You can't have these fucking freshmen in there. So what's going to happen this offseason is, don't be surprised when A&M, they didn't have any, had one transfer last year. Don't be surprised if they don't have 20 fucking transfers, and they go out and get some All-Americans and fucking and pay the motherfuckers.
Well, once again, why would I ask you the same question that I asked the Tennessee folks earlier? With Tennessee, is why would you want to go be a defensive coordinator there? I ask you, why would you not want to transfer from Texas A&M? Do you really want to have to go and play on a fucking team that couldn't cover against fucking UMass? Do you really want to go and play for a team that couldn't cover against UMass? UMass stayed at the Motel 6 down the street, and you couldn't cover against fucking UMass.
The answer is very simple, Rob. It's called money. It's called money. If you think these kids aren't looking at that fucking money, you're wrong, because they have no loyalty to A&M or Alabama or whatever. Ole Miss went in the transfer portal last year and got 20 players. They got a little fruits out of their labor, but they realized you got to have an established guy who can play in the system and got some maturity and some strength on them. These freshmen is a wild gamble. So you're going to see A&M go away from the recruiting. They're going to go out and find NFL first rounders and try to lure them in with money. I may be wrong. I've been wrong all year, but
well,
I think you're going to
enjoy your last game of the season and maybe the last game of the Jimbo Fisher era this coming week, man. Thank you so much for being a part of the program, though.
Okay. Appreciate you taking the call, man. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Biscuit with the comment, A&M used to blindfold their POWs, give them a cigarette, and shoot them with
I mean, just think about it. I mean, you got to give give a little bit of a credit and shout out to UMass for going on the road. I mean, they've been on the road for like 12 days, living in a Motel 6 about 15 miles from Texas A&M, practicing in the parking lot because they can't afford, they don't have the budget to fly back and forth to Boston 2 different times from Arkansas State back to Boston, then back out to Texas A&M. I mean, I mean, you got to give them props for that, for holding that game within the spread. I mean, they could have easily gotten blown out, but they didn't. They didn't.
All right, next caller, go ahead.
Yes, I'm just a small engine repair man, but I just wanted to call in and give a few words of advice to all them tenor fans out there.
Okay.
It sure does make it a lot easier when you have to eat that much cock if you just add a little mustard sauce on it. Boy, I sure do like me some of that sloppy top, I reckon. You boys have a good night, and remember to keep them lawnmowers full of gas.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I think we should end on that, Jackpot.
That was epic. Probably the best call ever.
That might have been the best call ever. Anyway, we're gonna have I think we're gonna have a special guest on Wednesday night as we pick our week games. I think that on Wednesday night might be one of the few nights that Jackpot and I might fucking cuss at each other. It may fucking happen. Big Barney
Big
Ross
Barney
says,
Ross, thank you for the two sliced bread podcast, Warren A&M. Yeah.
Yeah, so Jackpot and I might curse each other out on Wednesday night. So tune in for that. What a good way for your Thanksgiving. We're gonna have a guest. I can't tell you who it is because I don't want to jinx it.
It's not somebody from Talking Vols. Fat Piece of Shit 2001. Thank you. It says Carolina Jackpot's the best. Appreciate that.
Everyone loves Jackpot. I mean, really, they do. All right, Jackpot, it's been a good show, man. Congratulations to your team.
Thank you.
Fuck in 6 days. Fuck your team in 6 days. There you go. We'll see you guys later on.